Hi, it's T. Michelle Birdsong, Eve Einstein, mother of all living. You're looking at a picture of the mother of all living, Eve Einstein. This is my collage, and this is my father, King George V of the British royal family. We are at the occasion of exhibition of artwork by artists at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3. Most of us have been homeless, and some are mentally challenged. This place was founded by Father John, and Father Tom, and inspired by my daughter Robin Birdsong. Father Tom and Father John are disciples of Jesus Christ superstar Govinda Singh Dillon. So this is him. This is Guru Nanak. Eve was Guru Nanak, who founded Sikhism, and to protect people and help people and give them a philosophy to live by, making sure they understand that women are equal to men. They are different, they are apples and oranges, but both are good. This is a picture of the sun and my father. We are raised of the sun. It's a picture of when I was a tiger. I went to Burt High School and played on the Burt High School Tigers basketball team. This is Govinda Singh Dillon, who projected himself as my mother and guided me through life. Is my guru now, still guiding me. He was a royal Japanese samurai soldier. When it looked like we were going to be taken over by our enemies, I asked Jesus Christ to intervene, and he intervened and gave us the 10th Sikh Guru, Gobind Singh. And this is his father, the 9th Sikh Guru, Mike Pence. He was beheaded by Muslims because he wouldn't convert to Islam. And he left his little 9-year-old son, had to take over. And that was now President Donald Trump to be governor of New York for life, shaking hands with St. Ignatius, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, who was Eve's son, who founded the Society of Jesus to protect the popes. Okay, here he is with the Queen Elizabeth II. And here they are again. She is queen because when her husband died, she remained with her mother-in-law, seeing to her, being loyal to her, even though she didn't have to. So she was rewarded with a crown. And this is Melania Trump, was Florence Nightingale, who founded nursing. Okay, all right, who else we got? I want to thank Gobind Singh for bringing back the ability to say Merry Christmas. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there will be snow, but have a cup of cheer. It's my great-grandmother. She was Chief Sitting Bull in Hiawatha. This is my son, who was Superman and King Charlemagne. He was George Gershwin, the Jewish guy who started black people playing jazz because it fit with their nature. They're spontaneous. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. I'll hold the mistletoe high as it can be. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her for me. This is Santa, by the way. Let's have a picture of Santa. And Eve, the mother of all living, is Mrs. Santa. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly Christmas this year. Okay, this is my husband, the King of Siam, Joe Friedman. He helps me, he listens to me. Monday he's going to go to the cleaners and pick up my coat, my red coat. This is Michael Bublé. We fell in love in the heaven above. He was Angel Michael and I was Angel Michelle. And when he was 7 years old, I was his babysitter this life. And he said, I'm going to marry you. And I said, I can't marry you, I'm too old. And you won't like me when you grow up. And all that. But he has followed me in different forms. When he was Elvis Presley, he said, don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. And then when he was, let's see, Frank Sinatra. Was he Frank Sinatra? Yeah. He said, New York, city that never sleeps. This is where I live. And that's why I like it. People are alive and moving and trying to accomplish things. Here he is singing to me at the 66th Street subway stop in Manhattan. And that's where my children and my husband and I used to go to hear the New York Symphony Orchestra, the Philharmonic. We get off at this stop and go into Avery Fisher Hall. This is a picture of the sun. I was sitting in Starbucks and I took his picture through the window. I talked to him. He told me things. He said, be strong, be fearless. And he gave me two babies. One is Jesus Christ's Charan Singh, Ian Gruwall. The other is Dr. Wayne Dyer, Pope St. Linus. And he told me, you are true. And he said, you won. And he said he was proud of me. And then he told me to stop looking at him because he's radiation. And radiation just hurts the eyes in these bodies, these human bodies. Now this is St. Francis of Assisi, Robin Michelle Birdsong, with her biological father, Stevie Wonder, who was Adam's penis and Judas Iscariot. He hanged himself because he felt such remorse that he had betrayed Christ. And he was Hitler, trying to make it up to Mary Magdalene for what they killed her husband, Jesus Christ. So he was trying to do that. Robin Michelle Birdsong was Michelangelo, Queen Victoria, Dr. Spock, Dr. Seuss. And here she is in Haynes Park last year, 2 years ago, with her VIP pass to see Stevie Wonder, the Wonder Party, at Haynes Park. Lionel Richie, who was Booker T. Washington, and President James Madison, the father of the United States Constitution, was on the same show. Here we have Robin with her nephew Seth Wynn, who was Mr. Rogers, Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone. I remember the first time Robin was Aunt Donnie, and she had me call my mother when the phone was just invented. And I was absolutely astonished that I could hear my mother's voice on a thing called the telephone. Now Robin lives in Hawaii, and I get to hear her voice on the telephone. And this is Seth from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve's third and perfect son. And he was the founding father, John Hancock, the first founding father to sign the Declaration of Independence. And he was in the movie A Hitch. He taught people how to get along and get married and be happy. And he was John Hancock. No, it was just called Hancock, where he was a superhero. And he was starting out. He didn't know how to handle his powers with grace, so he caused a lot of problems. But he met this guy who liked him and guided him to be his best self. He went to jail and learned to be nice and powerful. So we think he should be president of the United States. And they were married. She is Azura, Adam and Eve's youngest child. They were married in the garden. They are members of the very first family of the world. So they're royals. And here she is welcoming people. She was St. Francis. She said, happy feast of St. Francis of Assisi Day. Here we celebrate that here at St. Francis of Assisi. And this is my mother, having been reborn as my granddaughter, Jandara Michelle Ranziger, and her friend Fallon, who was Tonto, the Lone Ranger's friend, and Blitzen, and she was Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And it's very appropriate that they're in this picture because this is the Christmas season. And her mother, her grandmother rather, is Mrs. Santa. This here. And this is Abraham Lincoln being as Tony Robbins. He was Eve's husband when she was married, Todd Lincoln. She was concerned that the slaves have been freed without learning how to live free. It's not automatic. And they were the killers of Christ. They were the real Jews, the Israelites. And so they have been paying their penance for what they did. They're still suffering, still paying their penance, living in the worst condition on earth, poverty, because they haven't forgiven themselves. The karma ends when they can forgive themselves and join the culture as productive, happy, positive, loving people. Okay, so we're going to go out with the song. And I want you to have a happy